Hello YouTube, take a deep breath. Well, I have to sometimes. Oh, this weather. It's back to being dry and cold again. It might be up to 50 by now, but it's Saturday, and we realized last evening, Friday, we don't have a Sunday in the shop video made. What are we gonna do? Well, we want to use this for a screwdriver handle. Y'all know how light a ping pong ball is. It's like an egg, you can crush it so easy. We've been cleaning this with that. Obviously, we don't get paid to show you that. So you can see where I've cleaned it, where I haven't. Okay, here's our idea. We'll just start out with this, get this out. We like these kind of screwdrivers so much for small stuff that we have a cheap set, probably from the dollar store. Harbor Freight, little Pittsburgh handles. They're like for your O-ring picks. And this is the only one I saved, because this is the only one I've ever used. Can you see why? Look, it's hooked, it's angled. I mean, it's got everything you want. Everything under the sun. Anyway, they go in really good if you press them in a vise or something, real carefully. They grab real good. You drill the right hole. So we'll get them out of the way. Okay, how could you put a ping pong ball? Okay, let's turn this around. We'll use it for a handle. Well, here's what we thought. If we run some of this tube through the ball, right? When we make one hole, and we epoxy it to the back wall, right? And we have it so this brass just goes in the hole. This will just fit it nice and tight too. See how it's on there snug? This fits in here loosely, okay? So we can decide how much chrome we want to, how much this has to go in there. And this is our length of brass. Okay. Now there's other ideas I've thought of. I thought about brass and then some more chrome. No, we just want brass. And then this will stick out the end of it. Let's back off a little. When you're one-handed. See, it's a little bit of play. We can take that up with some drinking straw or some tape. Oh, if you watch the one where I rolled that tape around the shaft, where I might have missed it, that acted as a piston and pushed all the epoxy down the bottom. Because you could push it on there and actually have compression like air, like a piston. And it worked good. I cut the tape in half. I don't know why it even mattered. I think I did because I needed clearance or something. But yeah, that works good too. Wrap some electrical tape around something so it fits in there snug. So let's finish cleaning this up. We always have our measuring tool and our... I can't get it out of my fingers. Trust me, I have it. My ruler, you've seen it before. Let's show you this collection for now. This is back when I made that sewing all. I wanted to put some tarp together or plastic. I mean, this is our assortment of screwdrivers and stuff for oddball stuff. We got cheap files. We just can't stay in frame, kidding me. Cheap screwdrivers for oddball stuff. Here's those bits. Like I said, I probably got 3 of them. And I have a nice set of these put in the desk drawer, but I keep the common ones out here. Like this. This doesn't match anything. This is old. When you get them little toys and stuff that needs the batteries changed, you know what I mean. Scissors. Oddball scissors. That's one of those back scratchers. I usually cut the rubber off and use it for a stove starter. You can blow through it. But I got an oddball cup and stuff up there in my pencil cup. Okay. So we've always got a supply of different odd screwdrivers and things. In fact, what is this? See, that's cheap. That's from the Dollar Tree. If you got little small files, you want handles, go to like those dollar type stores. You can buy 2 of these like for $1. Heat them up with a torch, pull them up, you got handles. If you haven't seen my other videos, I've done it. Okay, we could talk a little more and ramble on because it's Sunday video. Let's get this cleaned up. Let's make a hole in there and Dremel it in there real carefully. And then we'll start piecing this together. We'll figure out how far this is going to go in there. So we're going to epoxy it to the back wall, right? We're not going to plug it in, let it get inside, right? Because when we shove the screwdriver shaft in there, we want it to go down into some epoxy. So this will be glued in there. It'll be, not glued out here, just be going through a hole. And then the screwdrivers. And I don't think I'll wreck it for small screws like this. When you take it out of stuff to change batteries and do things. So let's see what happens. Let's get to work and work on this. Okay, real quick, I found the center. Don't smash your ping pong ball. This is just stuck in there where it's snug. Okay, then I came over here. There's an 1.5" diameter on the inside. I went 3/4. And there are several ways you can measure. You can measure all the way across and then split it at 3/4, or you can just go 3/4 like out here and just keep going around it. I think you know what I mean. You think that's the center? See where they put them together? Well, it's kind of a shadow. See it? These are two halves put together. I think you can see the shadow of it. See it? See right there towards the top? Self-explanatory. Just look at it. I'm just kidding. It's hard not to get frustrated. You crush this, it's done for. You can put a little air pressure to a ping pong ball with a little pinhole. Look on YouTube. There's probably 100 ways to get a dent out of a ping pong ball. Okay, we beveled the end of the shell casing on both sides, inside and outside. And that's how we cut our holes in paper gaskets. Is why we use shell casings for making gaskets. And we used it to go around and cut the hole. We almost had it through. We rolled up some sandpaper and sanded it. So we're being pretty patient. This is like working with an eggshell. I'm getting nervous. I need to take a break. Okay, here's the plan. This is stuck in, the chrome on the left side is stuck in there about 1/4 inch. And that's the end of the shell where the bullet was fired because it's swelled. It will not fit in this end no matter what you did because the shell casing expands. Anyway, notice that's not exactly flat. We're going to load the inside with epoxy, a whole bunch. I mean, we're going to put a gob in there, okay? We don't want to block that because we want our screwdriver to probably come all the way down in here. We have not figured that out yet. Okay. So we don't want to block the hole. Then we tip it up, it'll run out. So it will come out of the bottom and we will pick it up a couple times so it starts running out. You got 5 minutes to play with this stuff. So that gives me 5 minutes to make sure this is square enough to look good enough. So I think you know what I mean. Let's get this glued in there. We're going to take a break first and we'll mix our epoxy up. You got a good 5 minutes working time. I went further than that, but I always add more hardener to my 2-part epoxy so it dries as quick as it can. I just do that. If you look at my 2 bottles, you'll always see the hardener is less in the bottle. It's instead of a ping pong ball. Anyway, I said put some tape on it so you don't make a mess. There's like 8 pieces on there. Okay, 2 quick tips. Save whatever you're using for epoxy, because that's your test whether it's getting hard enough. And to get these cheap gloves on as far as you can on your fingers, to have long fingernails, you'll rip holes through them. It's holding it in front of the heater before you put them on. And then you can always put your hand in front of the heater again and reach in there about to the middle of your palm with your other hand and grab a hold of things and pull them onto your fingers. That's how you get these all the way on. If you got these old cheapos. So there's 2 quick tips. Yeah, here's your test to see how hard it's getting. I still got some time to move this around, so I can't tip it upside down, so I'm going to have to just guess and spin it. So it might be a little crooked, so I don't want to hear no boos bruises or nothing like that, I'll come after you. Anyway, I'm just kidding. We still got some time here. See it? It's been about 3 minutes. This stuff takes overnight to cure completely rock hard. This stuff I could show you someday when you grind on it. It does get pretty hard stuff. Okay, let's get back here and watch this egg till it hatches. That's what it feels like, an eggshell. This has been nerve-wracking. Okay, can you see it? Where the epoxy's around there? I told you it was proud there. You pick it up and run out of there. Gotta do it quick when it's warm and runny. And no, it's not centered. It's close enough. Okay, we're trying to decide how long to make this, because it doesn't have to be all of it. That's bottomed all the way in. And we make it a little bit longer, we shove it all the way in there. There. That way, that's all the way in. I kind of like it out here. I like that fluted look to it. So I'd like to maybe have an inch sticking out. And that gives us about a 4-inch shank. Look how good this stuff is cured. It's really not that good sticking to plastic. This is all scrap. Always say scrap things, CD, DVD, anything to mix epoxy on. I like sending in the shop. That's why I decided to just do another screwdriver. And then in the end, we'll show you what we've done all week if you haven't seen all the videos yet. But it's pretty good gooey stuff. So it's just from the hobby store. What do you think? It's better to have a long screwdriver. I know what you're going to say. That looks pretty nice, okay? I know we're on the towel, it doesn't look as good as wood grain. Because if you shove that all the way in, it's just too stubby. Let's go about an inch. This brass is about 7/8. That'd be about 7/8. See, that's only 3/4 with that design. The blade's about 1 1/4 inches. What do you think? Not quite 4 inches? I'm trying to use that mental telepathy. I know you're all telling me, hey, here, let's get this off the hold on, bear with me. But let's get it off that ugly rag. Let's get it down to where it looks good. There we go. Put all the stuff you accumulate when you're working with all the different things. Like even the tape that went around the... Stick to your fingers. You like that? I like that. We'll wrap some tape down here in the bottom. Or not the bottom, but towards the top, so it don't wobble. Because we're going to put a whole bunch of epoxy on there. We're going to tape this so it doesn't get all over. And it'll be in there pretty solid. For what we use it for, little radio screws and stuff like that. We're going for it. We're making about 4 inches. I already decided. I think you helped me decide. You'll agree. Let me know in the comments if you wanted a stubby one or one like that. Okay, before the epoxy gets too hard, we're going to cut through that with a razor blade. We have probably 3/8 of this coated with epoxy, and then there's a roll of the little band of tape to keep it from wobbling. I don't know if I took a picture or not. A little bit shorter than what I'd said before, but still we've got a screwdriver that's about 3.5 inches. I did that, put it in a little more because there was a big line cutting a screwdriver from something. It was almost like somebody took a cutter blade a long time ago or something and cut into it. So I wanted to hide that. So it got about a 1/2 inch shorter. So let's get this cleaned up and see what it looks like. Then we'll show you our whole pile that we've been making this week. Okay, here's our collection so far. That's straight ore Phillips number 2. There's the golf ball. That's one of my stubby one. If you haven't seen the videos, they'll be coming out soon. That's a nice square shank with a brass ferrule. Here's my ink pen one. And this is pretty straight. If you look at it and roll around your fingers. Now the seam in the inside there is, but you really got to look to find that. But it's pretty darn close. If you put it up here and go like this, I mean, it's going to jump up and down, but it's good enough. And what I like is when it's in your hand, see the knurls? That's about the right spot. That's why I wanted some of the knurls. Because you want something to, because you're actually turning this. Once you get it broke loose, you're turning this. So I've known not to put much force on this. Excuse me, back up. Gonna clear my throat and get a drink. Okay, thanks for watching this week. These videos will need to be posted soon this coming week. So, we built a screwdriver to Sunday. See, we did it all together. That way you can get an idea of what I go through when I make these. Okay, we're gone.